Well, Happy New Year, everybody. It's 2024. What are your New Year's resolutions regarding guitar playing for this year? Well, I'm definitely going to be sharing my guitar-related New Year's resolutions with you. And did I just release a preset pack for the quad CORTEX based on the Soldano Astro? And while we're talking about the Soldano Astro, where's it built? Some people think it was built outside of the United States. Well, Soldano actually commented on my review video I did of their amplifier and clarified all of that for us. And are gear shills actually ruining the credibility not only of YouTube and gear reviewers, but are they also ruining the credibility of the companies that they are shilling for? All that and more in today's Riffs and Responses. Well, Happy New Year, everybody. Thanks for joining me for this video, and I'm happy to make it for you guys. And this is one I've been really looking forward to making. I'm going to try to keep it a little looser in today's videos. In fact, I'm going to try to kind of loosen up from now on in my videos in the future, and not be such a freaking perfectionist. It makes me feel kind of pressury and tightened up and stuff when I'm doing my videos and say everything perfect, and it drives me nuts. So if you see mistakes in future videos, I'm just tired of being Captain Perfection, because I'm not perfect. I'm the furthest thing from it, and it's so hard to retain that type of thing when I'm down here shooting my videos, and I feel like it locks away some of my personality. Maybe that's a good thing. I don't know. We'll find out together. Won't that be fun? So anyway, let's start off with the fact that I actually am releasing a quad CORTEX preset and capture pack of the Soldano Astro amplifier. So before I get started with the demonstration of this preset pack, I just want to say that I captured the clean channel and all three modes of the high gain channel in the unit. I captured the blue, purple, and red modes, and I did both DI and studio captures for you as well. And you know, this amp's very versatile, and I really like the fact that the clean channel is very good, and then you have three gain modes in the high gain, or I should just say the overall gain channel in there, with the different gain structures, again with the blue, purple, and red modes. And I like the red because I'm a metal player, but there's people that would probably prefer the blue if they're classic rock or something like that, or if you're kind of an in-betweener, you like the purple stuff. So I did everything for you at the optimal settings, and I really think these turned out amazing. They sound and feel great. And so I'll be demonstrating the red mode for you now in some riffs and a mix or two. And this is a studio capture where I use my Mesa 212 with vintage 30s, and the mics I used were the combination of the Royer 121 and the Shure SM57, which in my opinion is one of the best combinations out there. You get a full spectrum of sound, great low end, good top end, and lots of great mids as well. And it just represents the cab and the speakers very well. So let's go ahead and demonstrate the sounds right now. With this pack, you're going to get a free preset which has a bunch of effects and all that, performance mode and all that in there. So it sounds really good. You can literally just take this to a gig and play it, and the effects and everything are dialed in perfectly. So you might have to make a couple of little tweaks here and there, but for the most part, it sounds awesome. So I'll just, demo the dry tones for you right now and run through a few other ones. Here's what the leads sound like. Yeah, so it just sounds incredible. Like, this is definitely one of the best packs I've made so far. I just loved that amplifier. I loved how it sounded and felt. And I did capture the essence of that amp with the Quad Cortex very easily. I mean, the QC is just an amazing piece of gear to capture amps with. And the DIs and the studio captures sound awesome. And the feel is great as well. And like I said, I have this preset set up in here. It's called Astro Live that you get for free with the pack. It's got all the effects, everything dialed in. I mean, you have like, let's see here, you have a dry preset here. And then I have one with a little bit of chorus and delay on it. Just sounds incredible. And of course the lead preset. So you got that, and then I even made one with the Phase 90 on it. So you have plenty to choose from on here, and then of course you can expand the effects or add or delete or whatever you want. Add the clean channel to the preset if you want. So I just think it's a great way to get you guys started with these tones. And again, I really think that amp sounded amazing. And if I had the money, it would be right there on the shelf. I think they did a great job on that amp. And we'll be talking more about the amp in the video coming up here in a minute. So anyways, if you want to get this preset and capture pack for your Quad Cortex, there is a link in the description of this video. And I will... So anyways, if you want to get this capture and preset pack for your Quad Cortex, there's a link in the description of the video. Take you right to my website, tonewars.com. And then once you order it, I will send it over to you. Make sure that you fill out the form properly on my website where it asks you what your QC cloud name is. Make sure you put that in there. And also make sure you follow me in the cloud at Tone Wars. All one word, capital T, capital W, Tone Wars in the cloud. That way I can friend you back or follow you back, and then we'll be friends. And then once we're friends, I can send you stuff. That's the way the app works. So again, fill out the form. It's just a quick thing. It just asks you what your cloud username is. Put that in there and make sure you follow me in the cloud, and I can send them over to you. All right, so let's get on with the comments now. This first comment is from the Anonymous 61, and this is on my KEMPER, what was it, the KEMPER player video that I did, and he says, what I've learned in tech related stuff so far is never to buy something based on some promised future updates. I'll just buy it when it becomes great. Well, thanks for commenting, and I totally feel your pain, dude. I mean, there's so many units coming out these last few years where they just gave you a box full of IOUs, and when people first initially bought them at full price, no less, they were disappointed, and there was a lot of weeping and gnashing of teeth on all the groups on Facebook and stuff like that, because people really did get frustrated with spending all that money on something based on all the promises. And then with some of these units, I mean, it took years for the promises to be fulfilled, and to me, that's kind of bullshit, you know? I mean, if you're going to advertise that your gear that's about to be released is going to do certain things, then it should do it on day one. And if it's not, then be transparent about it and charge accordingly. You know, I think that that's a thing in the digital platform world that unfortunately is they're trying to groom us into thinking that this stuff is okay. And it's not okay. It's not okay. I'm here to say that right now. It's bullshit. And I don't think it should happen. Again, it's okay for units to evolve and develop and get better over time, but don't sell something to us that under the guise of it'll do all these things, and then in the small print, eventually. I mean, don't do that. Be transparent with people, because it's okay to sell something when you're transparent about its where it's at and where it's going, and people can make an educated decision. Did you hear that? Educated decision on whether or not they want to buy that product. And when they do buy it, knowing all of these things, they really don't have any right to bitch about things, because they bought it based on what was told to them, and there were no lies or deceptions or small print or anything like that involved. So I just think that a lot of these companies are afraid to be transparent about their products because they're afraid of losing sales. But I think in the long run, you gain the respect of your customers by being transparent about these things, and then they can make an educated decision and buy it, knowing full well what's going on with it and proceeding accordingly. And again, if they bitch about what it doesn't have or whatever on social media, everybody else is going to come in and go, you were told. So why you bitching? So a lot of the people will stand up for your product at that point, because you were being very transparent about it. And again, I think it's okay for products to evolve. I mean, of course, when you buy a digital platform, you're expecting it to evolve over time, but it should come out with a certain amount of things, especially things that are promised right out of the gate. Don't release things with promises saying, well, soon it'll come, because soon could be any time, and we've all seen it with digital platforms, haven't we? So, oh, it's coming soon. I mean, we're going to do all this stuff. And some of us are still waiting for 2 or even 3 years for those promises to be, fulfilled. And I don't think that's fair. Soon should be within the next few months, if you ask me. That's like your grace period with me. Soon means 3 months tops. So what does it mean to you guys? You guys go ahead and let me know in the comments section below. All right, this next comment is from DLR 1976. He says, and this is on my Soldano Astro 20 versus Soldano Slow 30 review, or demo, or whatever you want to call it. Shootout. Yeah, it was a shootout. He says, great, I have a nice deal on a Slow 30 right now, but needed to compare with the Astro 20 before I decide. Well, I'm glad you found the video informative, and I hope you made the right choice that works best for you. If I were you, I'd buy the Astro, because I think it sounded a little better to me. The gain structure was better, it was a little tighter, and the options and the channels and all the things you could do with it are just, it's great. That's what they should be doing with amplifiers these days. Put a little tech in them, make them a little more flexible, know your audience, know what they like, and then make an amplifier that suits their needs and their tastes accordingly, and I think you got a winner. And this amplifier, in my opinion, is the epitome of how you build an amplifier and how you design it, how you put some features in it, and make it the kind of flexible that works for most people. But hey, DLR 1976, if you buy the Slow and you prefer that, then congratulations, you found the best amp that works for you, and that's what my channel is for. I just put things up against each other so that you can make an educated decision. All right, this next comment is from the same video, and this is from Brad Atherton 9369. And he said, Motor City Guitar, what a fantastic shop. Used to live by it, best pedal store in the country by far. Well, thanks for commenting, Brad. I'm glad you enjoyed the video, and you're right. I love Motor City Guitar, and I want to give them another public shout out for all of the great things they've done for my channel and for you guys as a community. I mean, if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't be able to review most of the gear that I'm reviewing on this channel. Marty is kind enough to let me take a lot of times very expensive gear and very rare gear home so that I can review it for you guys, because he cares about the community and he wants people to be informed on what kind of gear would work best for them. And hey, if you decide to buy that piece of gear, please reward Motor City Guitar with your business, because again, if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't be able to show this stuff to you, and I really appreciate them for that, and I think they deserve the business, not only because they're doing that, but they are a great store, and they ship anywhere in the US, and they'll get it to you just as quickly as any other store would. So why not give them the business, So again, thanks Marty and Matt and all the guys at Motor City for all of the support you've given my channel over the years, and I'm very grateful for that. All right, so this next comment is from Real Guitard. And this is on some of my Tonex based content that I've done. And I'm just going to read part of what he said here. It's pretty long, so I'm just going to pick out the part that I wanted to comment on. He says, all aside, another good update on your conclusion of whether or not the Tonex is worth it. I admire the way you rip apart at the seams the other YouTubers. That's one of the main reasons why I held off buying the Tonex. People scam for money, even guitarists on guitarists. Right now, I'm going through your videos because so far you seem legit. Well, thanks, man. I appreciate that. So basically, he was commenting on I think it was one of my Riffs and Responses videos where I gave an update of, did I really actually like the Tonex? And the answer is yes, I really do like it. I think it's a great product. And he was referring to the video where I came out and I was kind of making fun of all the YouTubers, acting like it was the second coming of Christ or something when they released that. That's the thing. Some people thought I was ragging on the product. I wasn't. I was ragging on the freaking YouTubers that were acting like they just discovered the cure for every disease known to mankind. And he referred to all of that stuff as being something that dissuaded him from buying the product. And I get it. And some of these YouTubers just go so far over the top as far as like shilling and praising for the gear that they get for free, or they get paid a little bit of money for, or sometimes a lot of money to review. And it's like, guys, these companies aren't expecting you to do that. It's probably cringe for them to watch it too. Like, God, you kind of going over the top here, you know? It's almost like when somebody compliments you too much in front of everybody, you start getting uncomfortable. Like, dude, I can't live up to all the shit that you're saying about me right now. So you guys should really freaking knock it off, because what you're doing is you're overdoing it so much that you're actually telling people not to buy the product, subliminally anyways, you know, because people are like, this can't be true, that can't be that good. And it makes people sick to their stomachs, you know, when they watch this crap, you know. And what he said here is a perfect example of that. I mean, you're ruining the opportunities for companies to sell things to people because you're going way over the top and just being complete shills and morons and making asses of yourselves. And it's just stupid. That's why I lampooned it, because I thought it was like ridiculous how people were acting. Look, if a product's good, it's good, okay? You don't have to go over the top and get stupid about it. Just say the positives and the negatives about it just like anybody would, you know? Be normal, you know. And again, if you're getting paid or you're getting a free one, that's fine. Your time's worth something. But don't act like that. Don't be so stupid and be such a freaking clown, you know, and shill your ass off. Because every time a YouTuber does that, guys like me and the person here that commented, and probably many others watching right now, it just makes us sick, and it turns us off towards not only their channel but the product that they're shilling for, and it's disgusting. So, you know, grow up, act appropriately, and stop being such a freaking douchebag shill, you know? We're sick of it. Everybody's onto it now. That's why you don't see vacuum salesmen stop by your house and try to sell you a vacuum anymore, because that shit wore itself out a long time ago, and everybody's onto the crap now. So, you know, stop being a vacuum salesman YouTuber. You know, it's stupid. And again, to put a bow on it, you're not doing the companies that you're doing this for any favors at all. In fact, you're sending people away from them because you just look like an idiot. I mean, there's nothing wrong with liking a product and expressing that, but don't act like it's the cure for cancer. So I'm going to read a follow-up comment from Real Guitard as well. We had a little conversation on the channel. So he says, I've been sitting on this thought of buying it since its debuted. He's talking about the Tonex. But I was weary of the hype as usual. Don't blame you. All those usual YouTube sponsor and endorsement groveling pukes. Now revisiting the thought after 9 months, here you are actually giving a legit perspective and reasoning backed up with your own money and obviously your own gear. So you've been the only one of all the crapsters on YouTube that I would give respect to and probably seriously consider buying it now. My final thing I'm still hesitant about is that I bought the software for Amplitude 5 Max, and honestly it was just complete garbage and complete waste of money. Not even on my PC anymore. Just so you guys know, I'm reading his words verbatim. So, I mean, that's just, it is what it is. So whatever he said about the other people on YouTube, those are his words. And the reason why I'm reading this stuff is that I like to keep it real on the channel, and I like to show you like the real thoughts people have about me or anybody else. I don't filter any of that stuff. So anyways, so yeah, it took him 9 months to figure out whether he wanted to get the Tonex, and it's because the shilling and all the stupidity just left such a bad taste in his mouth when he finally found my channel. He basically started getting a more realistic approach to the product, and I'm glad that he did that. Now, I'm not saying I'm better than everybody else or I'm the shining city on the hill or anything like that. Please don't take it that way. There's plenty of YouTubers out there that are very good at what they do, but all it takes is a few idiots to ruin it for everybody else. So I'm glad, the real guitar, that you're actually able to come to a conclusion on this product, and I think you'll like it. Now, regarding the software, I've never used the Amplitude stuff as far as like the older stuff, so I really don't know what that's like to use, but what I can say is when you get the Tonex and you download stuff, it's a bit tricky at first, just like most software is. It's a little tricky to get to know it, but once you get to know it, I mean, it's pretty easy and it's pretty intuitive after that. So hopefully you'll give it a chance, download the software, and spend a little time with it. And once you get past the learning curve, I think you'll be fine. And I will say this, I've talked to Tonex several times, and they are constantly working on making their software easier to use and making improvements with it all the time. They're always updating things and evolving things. So I think that in time, it'll be even more user-friendly for everyone, and I think they'll enjoy it even more, not so far down the road. All right, this next comment is from Jump Back Geno, I think that's how you pronounce it. And he says, will you be doing an SS V2 Friedman shootout anytime soon? I'm looking at buying one, but need your input. Well, thanks. I'm glad you liked the video, and I would love to take a look at a Friedman Steve Stevens version 2. Absolutely, but they're hard to find, you know, and if Motor City gets one in, or if there's anybody locally that owns one, feel free to reach out to me. My email link is in the description, and maybe we can hook up and make that happen, because I've been curious about that amp as well. Steve Stevens is an amazing guitar player, and I'm looking forward to checking out that amp if and when I ever get the opportunity. All right, this next comment is from Nasser Sharif. I think that's how you pronounce it. He says, while I may not always agree with your conclusions, and a lot of this is very subjective in terms of one's own preferences, there is no question that your videos are very thorough and transparent. You also have the experience, resources, and skill level to back it up. So I enjoy your videos tremendously and think you bring credibility to your channel. Thanks for this comparison. These are two amps I am seriously considering. Well, thanks for commenting. I really appreciate that. And that's basically what my goal is here on the channel. I mean, I just want to be transparent, even to a fault, with you guys on the channel. I'm not trying to sell you anything here. I'm not trying to talk you into or out of anything. I'm just trying to present the facts and put stuff up against each other, and I try to dial each product in the best that I can, because if I was a company that made either one of those products, I would want them represented in that way as well, and let you make the decision that works best for you. And yeah, I'll give you my opinion, because that's kind of what this is about, but I mean, take my opinion with a grain of salt, and then, you know, weigh it in with your opinion and what you think. And we might play different kinds of music and stuff and have different playing styles and wants, needs, tastes, all that stuff. But I'm just trying to give you the best information that I can on my end, and I hope people enjoy that. And it seems like people are, and I will continue to do that for you guys, because that's pretty much why I started this channel, because I wanted to do something like this for years. I saw a need for, you know, this kind of thing, and I'm not saying that there's no one else doing this, but everybody does it their own way, and hopefully the people that like the way I do it will continue to watch and subscribe and support the channel, and I appreciate that very much. But let me reiterate the fact that you will always get that from me on this channel. You always get the honest truth, no shilling, all just honest presentation of things. And for better or for worse, the chips are going to fall where they may on these shootouts and these demos. And like I said, that way you can make an educated decision. I've been misled before, and I hate it, and I don't ever want to do that to anybody else. So anytime I say certain things or share opinions that don't coincide with anyone who's viewing the channel, I'm not doing it to offend anybody or hurt anybody's feelings. These are just my opinions. If we don't agree, just like what Nasser said, I mean, we don't always agree, but at least he knows that I'm being authentic and genuine with my opinions, and then he can proceed accordingly. And that's basically how it is. I'm not trying to stir up any problems or kick up any dirt or anything like that. I just want to share my opinions. And like I said, weigh them out with yours and proceed accordingly. So thanks so much for commenting, Nasser. I hope you continue to watch the videos. And I appreciate your honesty and your genuine thoughts as well. All right, so where is the Soldano Astro actually built? I mean, some people were speculating, like, is it built in China? There's nothing marked on the amplifier where it's built. Are they hiding something from us? You know, I mean, it's a really good price considering it's a Soldano and it has all these features. Everybody expected it to cost more than their SL low line of amplifiers. So where is it actually built? Well, Soldano actually commented in my video to someone's question as to where it was built, and they basically said, it's built in the USA. We welcome factory tours. So rest assured, even though it's a great deal on that amplifier compared to their other ones, it's still built in USA and built with all the same types of components that they build their other stuff with. I just think that they really gave us a great amplifier for a really good price considering everything else. So thanks for commenting, Soldano. Appreciate that very much. And if I'm ever out that way, I would love to go and take a factory tour. I think that would be fun. All right, so this next comment is from Joss Punter, and this is on my Soldano Astro video. And I'm going to kind of paraphrase a little bit of it for you and just respond to the parts that are that I want to respond to here. And he says, I just bought the Astro from Motor City Guitar. I order stuff from Amazon and Reverb and now Motor City specifically because they won't call me. Rant complete. Party on. Well, hey, thanks so much for getting the amplifier. I really appreciate you using my affiliate link and stuff like that. Thank you so much. That really helps me out as well. And I hear you. Motor City Guitar is one of those companies that won't call you every month and go, hey, you need anything? You know, they're pretty casual. You know, if you buy from them, they don't bug you. They'll send you your stuff and basically leave you alone. And if you need technical support, they'll help you with that. But they're not going to bother you all the time and try to get you to buy more stuff, you know. And that's really one of the things I like about them as well. Marity's got a pretty laid-back kind of view on sales. He feels like the gear should pretty much speak for itself, and if you want it, you'll get it. If you don't, and you need to think about it, you can do that as well. And they're a very no-pressure store, and that's one of the things I like about them as well. So, again, I want to give you a shout-out and a thank you for purchasing the amp with my affiliate link. I really appreciate that. And I really hope more people do that in the future because, again, Motor City contributes a lot to this channel, and that way you guys can see a lot of gear demos you wouldn't otherwise see on my channel. And to reward them, I really hope people start using my affiliate link and getting stuff from them because it really does help everybody, including yourself, because you get a really good deal on a piece of gear and you're buying from an awesome store. All right, so the final comment is from, and I'm going to butcher this name, Emartenzer. I'm just going to go with that. And this is on my EVH Iconic 5 Ways to Make It Crush video. He says, a lot of people can't differentiate when a certain piece of gear sounds bad versus when a user is just butchering it. You gave really good insight here, not just for this amp or specific settings, but good advice that will let you get awesome tones no matter what gear you have. Obviously, some people take things literally and now use the 11 o'clock for presence religiously and then complain when a piece of gear sounds worse for them. But no, it's a ballpark number. Just depends on your pickups, your guitar, your speakers, etc. Well, thanks so much for commenting. I really appreciate that. I'm glad you enjoyed the video, and I appreciate the kind words. And you're right. I mean, there is a hard time to differentiate between, wow, this amp sounds like shit, or this guy just doesn't know how to dial an amp worth of shit, you know? So it could be one or the other. Sometimes it's both, but usually it's one or the other. And that's why it's always good to watch multiple videos on the same piece of gear, because you want to make sure that maybe it's just not the guy that's dialing it in wrong, and maybe it's the gear or whatever. And that's why it's so nice to have a variety of different YouTubers to watch, because we all do things a little bit differently. And you're right too regarding you know, a universal setting on a presence knob. I mean, I have amps here that the presence knob is at 3 o'clock, and I have amps where it's at noon or 11 o'clock, and you can't just use like a universal setting on a presence knob, and just because it works on one amp, it should work on all of them. They all have different tolerances. Same thing with treble, bass, mids, gain. I get that all the time. Well, I got the gain at 9 o'clock on my amp, and it's a completely different amp that I have mine at 3 o'clock on. It's like, dude, all amps are different, you know? And some people look at my settings like on the EVH Stealth. I mean, my presence is at 3 o'clock on all 3 channels. And some people have actually commented like, man, that's way too high for presence. I'm like, have you played this amp? No, you haven't, because if you did, you'd have your presence pretty close to that as well. And the thing is the presence on the EVH Stealth doesn't do much until you start getting around 1 o'clock and you start seeing, you know, you hear the activation of the highs, you know. So every amp's different, so don't ever take a cookie cutter approach to dialing in amps. I mean, use your ears, not your eyes, you know, and just dial it in until it sounds good for you. And what works for one amp is not going to work for other amps. You should treat each amplifier as a completely different thing, and all the tolerances on the knobs are different as well. And if they were all the same, what a boring world this would be to live in. Okay, so now it's time for me to share my New Year's resolution regarding guitar playing with you guys. So basically this year I'm coming up with a better practice schedule for myself, and I feel like I've been lacking in that area as far as consistency goes. So I know I try to start each day with a cup of coffee and some guitar playing, but I want to be a little more structured with it. So basically, for a warm-up, I'm going to allow myself to noodle around and do whatever I want for about 5 minutes, and then after that, it's metronome time. And I'm going to spend 20 minutes on the metronome, and I have a sweep pattern that I've been working on that's pretty challenging, and it allows me to kind of go all over the neck and keep me fluid with that. And I'm going to just keep, you know, doing that for 20 minutes and upping the speed as I go. And right now my top speed in it is around 180 BPMs, and I want to hit 200 and see how that goes. So that's a goal. And then after 20 minutes of that, I'm going to pick, you know, a couple of mixes that I struggle with and do those. And after I play the full mixes a few times, I'm going to pick out parts that I'm struggling with and then just drill those. And then after that, I'm going to go through all of my mixes that I play here on the channel, especially when we're live, and just do them one at a time, one after another. And then whatever free time I have after that, maybe writing or just riffing around or just whatever, I'll do that. So that's pretty much my my schedule for guitar playing in the morning with my coffee, and that should take me anywhere from an hour to an hour and a half, and I think that that is a good amount of practice that I can have every day. And I don't look at practice as a chore. I get to practice. I love practicing. I just need to be a little more structured with it so that my practice sessions are more productive and they're steering me in a direction of becoming a better player, not just having fun, because I think it's all fun. Even if it's challenging, it's still fun. And then if I have things that I'm working on as far as new songs or whatever, well, then I get to drill those ad nauseum until my hands fall off or whatever to finish off my practice session, and I think that'll be fun as well. I am working on something right now that's really challenging, and I showed my friend Steve that last night, and man, when I get done with that, my hand, it's like I have a pump from going to the gym. Like, it's like freaking just all crazy looking and stuff. My veins are popping out. It's a really hard piece to play, but it's fun and rewarding too. So I can't wait to get that done so I can show it to you guys. So anyways, that's pretty much my practice regimen for this year, and I'm going to try to stick to it best that I can. I know sometimes life gets in the way, but you really have to take time to practice. Make it fun, but make it productive at the same time. And I think I've achieved that with my regimen. So hopefully you'll find something that works good for you. But I always think that no matter what, and no matter what level you're at, you should always have at least, I don't know, 15 to 20 minutes of metronome time, because it really does make you a better, tighter player. Well, anyways, that's all I have for today. I hope you guys enjoyed the episode. Thanks so much for watching, and thanks to all my Patreon supporters and subscribers. If you want to support my channel, there are links below. There's affiliate links. There's my website. If you buy, you know, capture packs or preset packs for Quad Cortex, Tonex, or KEMPER, feel free to use my link for that. It takes you right to my website, tonewars.com, and get some awesome sounds for yourself. No matter what platform you play, I have stuff for you there. And if you want to join my Patreon, you can do that as well. And if you're new to the channel, feel free to subscribe and click the bell so that you can be notified every time I either go live or come out with another episode. Well, I have a lot more stuff coming up for you guys, and I'll see you on the next one.